Leigh Robinson, manager of Truro City. Leigh, I know you were depleted today. You had players cup-tied, injured, ill. Are you using that as an excuse at all for the result?
No, I don't think so. I think today we come up against a real quality side, probably the best side we've played all season. I think players certainly think that as well. And yeah, whilst we're missing some important players, I think the gulf between their club and our club and their team and our team was probably too great today, because such is the quality that they've got. So we sort of knew today. We knew today was going to be a tough ask with the players that we were missing, and I sort of felt on the way up that it might have been a bit of a game too far, because in the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of real hard games. Obviously Torquay twice, Welling away is one of your harder games. Then we had a midweek game against St Albans slipped in as well, and that obviously took its toll on the injuries and the illness and what have you. And sort of felt today might have been a game too far. So that's how it proved.
The way they came at you straight from the outset and forced, I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the first 7 minutes of the tie they forced 5 corners. I mean, they really did make their message loud and clear from the off. What were your feelings then, even at 0-0?
Well, we had to change the system within about 5 minutes, because the system we started with we had to very, very quickly change, because we were under pressure so much. And all credit to them, their intensity and their pressing and their work rate was something to behold. To be honest with you, as soon as they lost the ball, the speed which they reacted was absolutely fantastic to see. And we just couldn't, on the day, we just didn't cope with that well at all. And that led to, like I said, us having to change the system a little bit. But you could see today that they're a side that are on an amazing run. I think they've won the last 5 games without conceding a goal, and that's going to bring you an awful lot of confidence. And you can see that in how they started the game. So we sort of hoped before the game that we had a sort of speaking to one of the groundsmen who said that they'd had sort of 5 home games in a row and stuff. So we thought the crowd might be a bit down. They've got a big game next week apparently against York. So we thought maybe they might leave a few players out, or maybe not be quite there. But that wasn't the case. No, that wasn't the case.
No, they were unchanged actually from beating Bradford
Yeah.
On January the 5th last Saturday.
Yeah.
So you could see what their intention was. How did you feel at half-time with the score at 4-0?
Well, do you know what? In the last few weeks, we've become used to that a little bit. We've quite often been in the change room at half-time 3-0 down. Certainly, Welling last week, and in the Torquay game on Boxing Day as well. So it's not something we're unaccustomed to. But quite simply at that point, the game's gone. So we sort of felt at that point we hadn't really competed. We looked like rabbits in the headlights, and we just sort of said to them that last week 3-0 down against Welling, then they came out to play. Which I don't get any credit for, in that little comeback against Welling, because the game was gone. But we sort of expect them to do the same in the second half, and it was just all about pride and essentially, it's horrible to say at our level, but keeping the score down, making sure it wasn't an absolute humiliation, which we I guess just about managed to do on the day.
What did you do differently in the second half to what you did in the first?
Not a whole lot differently. I think we knew we had to play an awful lot better, or otherwise it would have got embarrassing. But I think maybe the wind helped a little bit. You can see in the first half they were a lot better than us. Admittedly, they were playing with the wind in the first half. We had the wind in the second half, so that kind of helped us at least get out a little bit and not get so penned in. But yeah, I think we saw a little bit more of the ball. We were able to get the ball into the front two a little bit more. Didn't result in any goals, unfortunately. But yeah, just a day, like I said, that we have to come away, lick our wounds, and appreciate that we're probably not going to play a side that good again this season, and start again next week.
Well, at least you're honestly, you've admitted that they're the best side you've come up against this season. Is Matty Warburton the best striker you've come up against this season?
Hard to say, because I think as an attacking unit, I would say they're the best side we've come up against, because their movement and the speed at which they did things was just, we just couldn't cope with it on the day. So he's obviously come up with 3 or 4 quality finishes, and we'll get the headlines. But I think I just think as an attacking unit they were just something to behold today with their movement and speed of thought. And yeah, we just simply couldn't cope with it. Simply too good for us.
And Leigh, out the trophy now. You've only got one thing to concentrate on, and that's to stay in the National League South. How do you restore the players' confidence after that result today?
Well, realistically, all season we've only had one thing to concentrate on, and that's been staying in the league. Because really the cup competitions this year are always going to be a bonus for us, and not really a priority, just a nice little added bonus for us. So, but to be honest, to our boys, we've had, in our time here, we've had some good days, we've had some bad days as well. But we're a little bit fortunate with the group we've got. They tend to get over bad results quite quickly. So we had a real bad beating at Oxford the other week. On the Tuesday, following Tuesday, we beat Slough. We've generally come back from bad results, pretty well. So we don't tend to sort of carry a sort of lack of confidence or a real sort of knock of the confidence. With the players we've got, they are quite good at just looking at these games. Torquay, Wellington today, and saying, look, quality side, we weren't good enough on the day, move on. So we've sort of managed to manifest quite a good mentality in that respect. So I don't worry too much about that for next Saturday. I think we'll be ready to go.
Good, I'm sure you will be, and we wish you the best of luck for the remainder of the season. Let's put this one to bed, get it out of the way, and let's look to staying in the National League South with great confidence.
Okay,